Alright, we are back on the Stanley Parable, everyone. What time is it? Uh, does anyone really truly know? I mean, of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. So I've adjusted all of the game's settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. Neither of us really know what time is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be. No, they were not. I I don't know. That's maybe the only. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. We will skip that. So this is the story of a man named Stanley. And I swear it's like this narrator follows me around for real. Wait a minute. I hate Monday. Yeah? Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh! There's even more new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes,
Did
I
I?
have something very exciting to show you.
I swear to God, if it's the same thing again. It's probably going to be the same thing again. This is what we aren't yet realizing, is that the narrator's just setting a trap for us. Oh. Oh.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh no. Oh.
Yes, you see? Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Taste the sea. What is this? Skittles?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
Back.
It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Why is it a It's just the Stanley Parable 2 in different font, and now you have the. Thanks for it. Oh, Jesus.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable
it seems like we have anyway.
Going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Features. Okay. Did we miss the meeting? I think we missed the meeting. God damn it. Again? Whoa.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
What new feature? Office stick. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to
can't
be
push that button.
individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really
Jesus,
simulate
we
the
turn him
full
from Stanley
experience
into
of this
Jim.
feature. Just play along.
No, well, no,
promise
this
you'll
isn't the
love it.
Stanley Parable if I'm
Okay,
Jim.
here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine
Jim.
yourself living as Jim,
The Iron
sleeping
Chin.
and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Jesus, you're
Do you
depressing.
feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
No, I am
If so,
Cactus.
then please
Technically Stanley,
step
but-
forward and press the button.
Okay.
Jim.
Yes!
Really?
You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again.
No.
Do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time.
I don't know about
if
that.
this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained
You
from
only
all
press
of
it
this
how-
personal validation.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed, narrator. I mean, this is called the Stanley
I
Parable,
suppose
and
I
now
could
I'm
allow
Jim.
only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of
Oh my
finishing
God.
this feature.
What is... Epilogue? No, well, I'm not ready for the epilogue. Please, no screenshots. Well, hold on now, guys. I mean, oh my God. I don't even think we've got to that ending yet. Infinite hole in the jump circle. Free, new, and easy achievement. It just works. Is this the Todd Howard achievement? Oh, this is a sketchy looking hallway.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Yeah, where's the exit? Get me out of here. You can find them. Can you find them? Oh my God. Back here again.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Damn, Stanley looks miserable. Stanley looks absolutely miserable.
When you collect everything in a video game, and then they give you a big fancy reward for it.
I don't need the jump circle again.
Tragic.
We've already done... Although, where's this reassurance bucket? The infinite hole. Like, That's not new content. That is not new content, the jump circle. Where is... Yes! What's...
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
What?
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday,
come on.
step-niece, it is.
Jesus, and they're just everywhere.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Yeah, it's time to move on. I'm determined to find this reassurance bucket. Yes. Let me see the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well,
It's been
I'm happy
stolen.
to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps
Am I supposed to throw up in the bucket?
comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Are you gonna let me hold the bucket?
It's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yes.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
What?
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
The
benefits of the bucket
It's
seem
just
to
a
go
bucket,
on and on,
dude.
don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I get to keep the bucket?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I mean, this is a very enjoyable bucket.
If it isn't already.
This bucket, you know what? I think I am so pleased with this bucket, I am gonna take my leave. Jesus, I can hear my footsteps.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yeah, I have
Ready
the
to
bucket.
move on now?
Yes, I have the bucket. Whoa. That's a face. Oh no.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul.
What's over there?
It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
There's a hole.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on.
No.
Let me do a different arrangement.
The arrangement isn't going to matter.
This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Why is the jump...
Stanley?
The infinite
This
holes
isn't
in
a
the jump
coherent
circle?
video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't
And
add
there's
up
the
to
gym
anything.
button. There's 2 gym
I
buttons.
wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this
what are you
is
thinking?
the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
I swear to God, if he just rips
All right,
off Star
perfect.
Wars.
Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay, just... Whoa. Settings. This is, cool. Huh. Begin the game again.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Oh, there's the balloons. Where's the
All of his
jumpsuit?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
These are not even the balloons I requested.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
What, a
Why
bucket?
was he not doing it?
What? Where's the bucket? Oh!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Stanley has a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, I didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Fine.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead
Where's
to
the
the
bucket a
opposite
character
door.
now? What the hell? What is this? What's bucket?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to
Well,
go
I
with
mean,
the
it
other
makes
cleaning
sense.
supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be,
Okay, fine.
given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
He just gives up on it so quickly. I'm gonna throw a bucket at my boss. Where is he?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Oh my god.
And now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point,
Oh,
Stanley
no.
was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Okay. 8, 4, 5.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
No, the
Was
bucket
it
guided
the
me.
bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
The
Yes,
bucket has been
this
guiding
is certainly
me.
the most logical explanation.
Fuck the force. We got a bucket. Stanley is Bucket Man. We are Bucket Man.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bucket is not wondering anything.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Me and the bucket are inseparable. We are like a boy and his dog.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Oh no, we gotta free the
Had the
bucket.
bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
I think it wanted to stay in the broom closet.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's
just
control.
screaming in the bucket.
Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Can't even trust the narrator.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded
What's
from
in
this
here?
very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
All right.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Did I escape with the bucket?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
What?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening?
Oh
Why
no.
had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
Oh, just open the door.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Oh,
Even the facility
no.
itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room.
Oh my god.
But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay. Damn, dude. What? Oh, the bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ugh. You know, I think we're rid of it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Still not in here, though.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm seriously seeing if anything changed, because I didn't pick up the
Stepping
bucket.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
No.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I swear to God, if this is copyrighted. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Why is this the world's
Feeling
largest
soothed
ashtray?
and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. Hey!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay then. Let's... I don't even know what to make of this right now.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk
This
forward
hallway is now
and
endless.
willingly confront his death.
Whoa. Ow.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Jesus.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the
Whoa.
narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Whoa. There's lettering this way. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Whoa.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Damn. Whoa. Whoa. Just. Whoa. Like, whoa. Uh. Narration outtakes.
Stanley stood on the roof.
Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded the dialogue
Stanley pushed the
roughly
number
3
6.
separate times over the 2 years of
And
development.
finally, he pushed the number 9.
Huh. This is just interesting. Freedom ending. Monitor room elevator. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Well. 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 Those were some endings. My God, I've never even seen any of those before. Well, as always, if you like this episode and you want to see more stuff like this, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. But I'm gonna sort of hop off of this game for now, and I'm gonna go. I don't even know. Anyways, until I'm back on the Stanley Parable. Thanks again for watching, and have a good night, everyone.